All right, we're back. Dad Fight Club number 11. What happens when a white belt teaches a wrestler how to do jiu-jitsu and a wrestler teaches a white belt how to be less bad at stand-up and overall wrestling? Hey, yeah. Okay, so we got back together.
Continues.
Yes, the journey continues. It is a path. That's what they say. From beginner to being a black belt. But so we got back together today. We skipped last week, maybe on the week before. I can't remember. But
Yeah,
I was out with
Florida. You were on vacation as well.
Yeah. So been out with the vid. I got that Rona, but tested clean. So Jordan and I got back on the mats. And we were doing some traveling before that. So been a little bit of a siesta, but we're back. We both are pretty fired up, I think. We both watched CJI and ADCC last week. So that was like pretty...
Shout out to CJI and Craig Jones, everybody. That was amazing. For our worldwide listeners, of course, Craig, I said, what's up?
I mean, it was way better than ADCC. And like, I am not known as like a big Craig Jones fanboy. Like, I think he's just a little bit over the top. Like, obviously his jiu-jitsu is beautiful and everything, but like, he's just a little bit over the top for me. Call me a stick in the mud. But holy cow, like, I think it was by far like the best jiu-jitsu experience that I've seen, or tournament that I've seen. The alley, like having the walls, like when I went to go watch ADCC after watching CJI, I was like, oh my gosh, the push outs, the resets, which are all like strategic too, right? And like, I don't fault the competitors, like they're trying to win, right? And if they think that like stalling for 10 minutes until it gets to points and then shooting one takedown and winning is like the way to do it for them, then like, okay. But between the push outs and then the lack of rounds that were scored like they did with CJI, like, I mean, CJI was just so far superior in every single way. I probably even the quality of the people competing outside of like the new wave folks and stuff like that were still over at ADCC. Far cry for me as a white belt to judge people's jiu-jitsu, but like I think a lot of the under 80 division was stacked at CJI, and they all came from ADCC. So was what it was.
A whole lot. Yeah, and as somebody who's relatively new to it, I mean, obviously I've been aware of it, but not invested any time watching jiu-jitsu. I mean, I'll watch a UFC match before I watch, ADCC. I mean, it was so entertaining, and it was like pulling teeth going because I was watching the ADCC afterwards, and it was torturous in so many different ways, so from just like a newcomer to the sport and all of that, I mean, it's very captivating, and just to think that was the first one. So whether Craig and his team, do something continually, annually, or do more than one a year, or other people see how great it was with the alley and that, and start to move in that direction, I think it's going to be great for the sport overall. And it got me really motivated. So much, in fact, that he's there laughing. I went and bought my first instructional.
Yeah. Okay. So homeboy, Mr. Wrestler over here, okay, who like literally is just beginning to understand what a guard is. Okay, like
how to frame.
Yeah, like he like 2 weeks ago he figured out how to frame, and then like last week like he started to figure out like how to like play guard just a little bit. Like this dude went out and bought the Craig Jones like leg locks instructional after watching CJI. Like, oh, dude. Okay, yeah. Hey, tell me what you were inspired, because I was like, we were talking about the whole like pulling guard versus, and tell me what you said you wanted to be like your style of jiu-jitsu and grappling. Tell me what you told me earlier today. Do you remember what you said?
Like, it was Leary. Was it Leary?
Yeah,
it was like a combination between Leary and like, I want it to be this explosive, kind of just super cocky, trying to fix my hair when I'm doing it, but just a assassin on the technical side. I mean, that guy was just like a freaking robot, pulling going after his, like we talked about chain wrestling, just going down the list of all these different submissions and I mean, put the definition in sticky hands and sticky feet. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he could not get him off of him. It was
Yep.
like he had, sticky paper on him or something. And I really, really liked that. It was very methodical. And I was just totally obsessed with jiu-jitsu this weekend. So I watched many documentaries on many different athletes and and
So this is the guy that I can't get to show up to a jiu-jitsu class, by the way. I should just point out, okay? but
that's true.
yeah, I mean, basically, I was like, dude, you should try doing like actually going to class instead of just like imagine if you were learning jiu-jitsu from somebody that actually knew jiu-jitsu instead of learning it from me. Like it would be a lot better. But what really struck me about what you were saying earlier today is like, so we grappled earlier this morning, and he was like, you're like, yeah, like I want like the top game of like Cade or of Tackett, and I want like the bottom game of Levi. And I was like, so you want to be like the best jiu-jitsu player in the entire world is like what you're saying? Like you want to be like here's a black belt. Like you want to be like, oh, okay, all right. Well, like, I don't know, you might want to consider going to jiu-jitsu class. Like, I mean, I know, but you're a wrestler. You don't need any of that.
I'm just gonna keep doing.
Yeah, just keep pumping iron. I mean, that definitely helps. I mean, you saw some of the stronger folks there. Strength matters. Dude, I mean, Levi, like the leg lock dude, that dude was freaking jacked.
Yeah.
Like he was stacked, man. Like he was not a leg locker like a Mikey Musumi. Although Mikey is jacked too. Like he's shredded. But yeah, the whole thing was super impressive. I walked away from it almost a little bit, like as somebody who's been training jiu-jitsu for almost 2 years. I walked away from it almost being like a little bit disillusioned with like where I am compared to some of these people, because it was so good. Like it was so good. Watching the level of jiu-jitsu was so high. And I was like, man, like I'm a lifetime away from that, and I'm never going to get there. It's like basically the sad realization that I had is like it's a 40-year-old dad who's training like 3 or 4 times a week. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna get there. I'd like to. I mean, you'll see from our rolling video today. Like I can't handle a neophyte wrestler. Never mind, like any of these other guys. Like so. Anyways. But it was an incredible display. And like even my wife watched a little bit of CJI. Like she knew some of the backstory. I told her about like the whole like schism between ADCC and like with B Team and everything. So but by the way, I was super impressed with Nicky Rod. So I've been a pretty big hater. Like I've always liked him, but I've been a little bit of a hater of his jiu-jitsu because it's been pretty body lock passing like exclusive. So he basically like he's super good at wrestling up. So he sits on his butt, waits until somebody's ankle is close by, and then he just wrestles up and uses like a lot of explosivity to wrestle up. There's obviously technique that goes into that, but like it's wrestling. And then once he takes them down, he just like stalls until he can body lock them. Then he passes their guard, and then like he never submits anybody. Like if you look at his submission rate, it's super low. Well, I mean, all that was different here at CJI. Like he, for the most part, didn't pull guard. For the most part, didn't wrestle up. It was mostly like engaging on the feet, taking people down. He did not look like he was on steroids or anything like that. Like if you look at him in ADCC back in like 2019, he's like 245 pounds, like massive. Like I think he's kind of like staked his claim on being like on all natural and stuff. So it's like awesome. Like he's like 220, 225, just jacked and ripped, super explosive, super fast. And he choked out 4 dudes in a row. Like he won all by submission, all by rear naked choke. Like he beat Felipe Andrew in the final. Felipe clearly was one of the most technical people there, despite only training no gi for like the last 6 months or whatever it is. Yeah. Incredibly technical. So I was blown away by Nicky Rod. I thought he was super good. So anyways, time to get back to class, man. K
Yep.
guard, K guard, K guard, K guard.
A lot of
Which,
that.
despite knowing how to do, I did not get to once in our roles, just through the constant pressure of grappling with Jordan. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into the roles?
No.
You make
I
it
feel
out
like there
injury
was,
free? Are you good? Last time we
yeah,
we were talking about elbows and knees and all that type of stuff.
yeah, nothing. I thought I felt something earlier, but nope. Feel good.
Oh
Little
yeah,
sick, but
I texted Jordan saying that like we weren't, because we were planning to work out later today too, and I was like, oh man, how about we just podcast? Like I'm still recovering from COVID. I feel like, what did I say? Like I feel like kind of wiped, and you were like, I could feel it in your body.
you gotta remember, man, I work with a lot of people, and I'm a very intuitive type of person. I really work on strengthening that skill. I was kidding, I'm messing with you, but that is true. But we've grappled a lot together. You can feel like there's like a fatigue in your muscle. Like when you were
Mm.
trying and you were, putting forth effort, I could feel the fatigue in your muscle. That's what I was
Yeah,
implying with
so
it.
apparently Jordan felt it so much that he was like, hey dude, like, are you sure you want to work out later today? And I was like,
I didn't
I
say
don't
like
know,
that.
sure.
Just giving you the heads up. Like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, well, I thought that was pretty creepy. You're like, oh yeah, I could feel your weakness. So I was like, all right, okay, all right. Well, I mean,
Well, you
it
put it on my
definitely didn't go.
radar when you put it on my radar when you were like, I'm as weak as a kitten. I was like, what the hell?
Well,
Do
I
not
did
think I
feel
want to
that.
go roll with you.
Yeah, do you want to go grapple? I'm as weak
Yeah.
as a kitten. And we did have an appearance of my boys did come with me. They're in between schools right now, so you might occasionally see a little boy running around in the background or watching their dad get smashed by a big hairy lumberjack looking dude. So that's, oh yeah. So both my boys now equate you with like the one guy in the world that's stronger than daddy.
Oh,
So
jeez.
that's not great. like,
You
was,
have your own self to blame for that too. Tell them they didn't get
well,
that idea by themselves.
I mean, I think it's partially seeing you, and like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I was like flexing on Johnny, my oldest, and he was, I was like, you gotta get muscles like these, and like, like, guys, I'm 170 pounds, I don't have any muscles, but and he was like, somebody was like, or Joey was like, are you the strongest, Daddy? And Johnny was like, no, Jordan's stronger. I was like, shoot me in the face.
Well, I can't have that as a dad. We can't have that. So we got to set up a workout where I come over to the house and you just like lift me and you just
Well,
run through me on a
I think
workout.
as they saw you smashing me today, they verified their their assumptions around our relative strengths. That's my guess.
Oh no.
All right. Are you still over there, Jordan?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. All right, let's check out the rolls. We first started on our feet. So let's check it out. Yep, there's Joey in the background observing. Trying to do the snap downs a little bit. You made a little bit like of a sudden move there. Right here, like you flashed a little. And I was like, oh, I'm not sitting around and waiting for this. I'm not sitting and waiting for this shot. I'm just sending it. Which, of course, didn't work. But this was about as, this is about as sudden as I can be. And it's not very sudden. You just backed up. Pulled guard. Oh, I should point out, I just want to say one thing, which is that I made a rule with myself that I was going to do no Kimuras today. So like right here, I could have shot a Kimura and gone over the top and tried to, I'm not saying I would have got it, right? But like, you'll see that like there are a bunch, like you won't see me going for a Kimura. I don't try it once in any of the 3 rolls that we do. I was trying, because I've been a little bit dependent on the Kimura game, I think. Like it's something I've maybe become a little bit over reliant on. So I'm trying to work other things. So I think you're about to pass my guard, like flash past my guard with an X pass. right there. Boom. But I frame, and then look at this little, my left leg. You see it coming in there?
Mm-hmm.
We saw that Levi dude do this a ton, right? At CJI. Why can I not? There we go. Okay, whatever. You see my left leg coming in, right? So that's, I think, so once I did the initial frame off your head and managed to create a little bit of space, I immediately threw that in. And, you know, like, you're not going 1,000% trying to keep pressure passing me here, but I think it would have made it a little bit more difficult. So let's watch it again. You can see, so you'll do the X pass, I immediately frame, and then I swing that other leg in right away. And then that allows me to create space to recover. I think it's hard, it's tough to say, but like honestly, this might have been my best sequence of the entire day, was just defending this X pass and not letting you get like chest to chest with me. You know, like,
No, I was definitely trying.
because like when you get chest to chest, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I could not get my head to your chest, and it was like you were not letting me get close at all.
Yep. So even here, like, I was worried about you doing another X pass or a leg drag. So watch me swing my left leg in again. Come over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back in a similar position where I've got, this is called it's sort of like a lasso on the left. So I was about to shoot a triangle right there. So you see my right foot start to creep up, right? Right. I don't think I went back far enough. Sorry. I'm about to, right there. I'm trying to bring my right foot all the way up to shoot over your shoulder. But I just can't quite get it there. Mostly just because of your pressure. It's just like leaning into me. So, but these are like prime Kimura opportunities. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but like your left arm, like I've sort of got control of it. I could be like potentially trying to shoot over and trying to grab the Kimura. But for the meantime, I think I'm just happy surviving. And then I was like, okay, I gotta try to get back into close. Like I told myself I was gonna play more closed guard today. Oh yeah, I go for a little butterfly sweep here. I get a little bit further on it than you've let me in the last couple of weeks. Oh, maybe I don't. Okay. What I meant to say was I go to close guard. And you did you did a great job stepping over. That was awesome.
That's what I was talking about when we were there earlier, is just like slowing down and seeing almost the back half of the body. Like that pressure, it's like looking back on it, it was almost, it's like tunnel vision. I would only really see the top part of your body and your arms, and like totally disregard your bottom half a lot of times. And that's one of the big things at CGI. That's why I went ahead and got the leg lock video. I mean, that's on the end of the spectrum, but that's kind of my personality, where it's like I want to jump in with the mindset of like that's what I'm working towards. But in order to do that, I need to really get these octopus legs, where they need to just be extensions and all working, in unison. Because
Yeah, I mean,
they have amazing pressure at CGI, but like just like you said, the timing of the framing and then the sliding in,
mm-hmm.
because it's multiple things happening at the same time. And again, that I think that's a level of the sophistication and all of that is what was very appealing to me. That was like, ooh, this is what I like.
So here's the thing, though. Okay, like, and that's I couldn't agree more. It's not just knowing it,
But being able to do it, yeah.
It's doing like these roles are really frustrating for me oftentimes, Jordan, because I can do so much less to you than I can to like your average white belt that I roll with at like a jiu-jitsu gym. Like, there's so many things that like I want to do that I can't do just because of like whether it's the pressure or whether it's just the strength differential or just like my lack of skill, like my overall, like I know what to do, but doing it is just like a whole nother ball game when your heart rate's up and you've been getting smashed for a little bit and like you're worried about getting passed and like, blah, blah, blah. Like your threat of passing, I think is way, way more significant than like the threat of passing than like most people. Like that initial sequence, and we'll come back here, but like that initial sequence where you like flash past my guard wherever it was, like this hasn't happened to me like in a jiu-jitsu setting in a really long time. Like this is like at the beginning, at some point here, you pass my guard.
I don't know if you can restart the video. I don't see the video on my side anymore.
Oh no. Yeah, I can restart. So for the record, we use this platform called Riverside. That is apparently not good.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, so like this type of guard passing where it's just like this flash of heat and pressure and just like strength and like getting past my guard in like 2 seconds like that is not something that I don't know. Like it's just like the overall it's hard to explain why I don't run into that more, but I really don't. So like I'm kind of in constant fear that I'm going to get posterized by you. So like I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm in good position. Oh, my guard is passed. Like, and this huge dude is on top of me, you know? Like, so anyways, I think
an amazing job of getting back.
Yeah. I guess I'm just like it's a long-winded way of like just trying to say that like you get this, like say you conceptually understand how to do all this stuff and you've even practiced it a few times. Like if you're going against somebody that's good or somebody that's as good as you or as strong as you or has as much pressure as you, like it's still gonna be super hard to actually pull it off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we're getting towards the end here. We'll just rewatch this last little part. We go to close guard, you step over, right? Which is pretty good. I was trying to get to close guard, but I couldn't get past your arm. And then you stepped over. I insert one hook.
And again, that seems that's a good move, but it seems small in the grand scheme of things. But the speed of which I did it. And again, it's like that reminder, like I don't need to be explosive in this moment. It does not call for an explosive movement. Just lightly step over.
Yeah, just slide on. Okay, so that was the first one.
Is it your phone or mine?
What?
Your alarm? Isn't your alarm going off or mine?
I don't hear any alarms.
Sorry. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Oh, it's a video.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so then I start passing. I came out, a little hot, but like, not too bad.
You came out pretty hot compared to like how fast we were going before. I was like, oh shit. Good thing I warmed up.
So this little outside pass or outside move, right, where I just like swung around like that, like not my best, not my worst, but like I need to get my head lower as I'm doing this. Like I need to drive my head into you to prevent you from following me quite as easily. I think that would have made a huge difference here. But I still ended up in super good position. Like this is super good position. Like it's a little bit hard to see from this angle, but your left leg is like way over on my right hand side. And like I was going to start what's called tripod passing. But you just like yeet me and off I go.
Well, I did have the butterfly that you taught me there.
You had one butterfly hook. That was pretty good.
Well, 2 legs on one. It was a 2-on-1 action.
So normally that's not a thing. Okay, like normally if you have two, if both your legs are on one side, it means that you don't have it means that your legs are about to get collapsed because they're not wide enough. Like your knees aren't wide enough apart, but you were able to maintain the distance between your knees to create kind of like the fulcrum, which like I would not be able to do this with you. So like right here, right here is like basically when my two knees would just come together and I would be on my side. But you were able to keep your knees apart and basically suspend my whole body weight on your left leg, even though you're on your side here, which is pretty cool. Like, I don't know what like exercises you need to do to be able to do that, but I don't got any. See, like right here. Oh gosh, dang it! It keeps on going back just like a little too far. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Yeah, so like right here, this is perfect smash pass position for me. Like I'm beating your guard, I'm over both of your legs. Your knee, your top knee and your bottom knee should just be coming down together, and like it's game over. I should just be able to go straight to mount from here. But you like do like you bring your knees back apart with my whole body weight on top of it, and then you roll from your right side over to your left side somehow. Like I don't know how you like you're all the way over on the other side, and then you manage to slowly like heave me over. So like super cool. I need to have better positioning. I need to understand how that works better. But like you started way over on your right hand side, like almost completely on your side, and then you single handedly like yeeted me over to the left, like which is super cool. But it was basically at this point that I should have put my arm out and tried to catch myself. But like I just kind of, I don't know. I just decided I was going to go with it.
So I think if you go back a little bit before the roll, we were talking about bringing that aggression out. So roll back. So I'll tell you to pause it. So play it. At a certain point, you need to go into a hard, just like you said, chest down, and then just smash into me, and then kind of sprawl the legs out. Right. So
yeah. I can't. Maybe I came up too high quickly. I should have stayed low.
Up onto your toes, up, and then you just drive your head into the side of my head. Because I'm gripping with my left hand there, so I'm trying to get a push with the left hand as I'm then trying to do that butterfly thing you taught me with my right leg.
It was sweet. I think I was too high too early. Like I should have sprawled a little bit and gone from there. But yeah, it was super sweet. So wrapped you into closed guard after you swept me. That was your first sweep, by the way. So,
yay!
Kudos. I forget. Oh yeah, I was thinking about going into trying to do a K guard entry over here. So I like grabbed your knee over on like your left knee. I grabbed it, but then you just like were putting so much pressure on me. I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. So right here, you have to be super careful. Like, I think I came pretty close to taking your back in this sequence. Because all I have to do is pop my head out from underneath. See how I have my left arm all the way around? Yeah. So, like, I've taken your back from this sequence before, right? So you've got to be careful on this. Right here, oh gosh, I was so close to having your back. Right there. My arm comes over.
You're like,
look at that. I'm like about to pop up over.
I'm even to realizing
it. Yeah, no, I was thinking it the whole time. I was like, oh man, he's got. If I just pop my head out and grab his lat, I should be able to swing out to the other side. But you're able to reposition yourself, so that was well done on your part. You end up posturing up. I give you a hip bump sweep here. It was pretty dope. Like your reaction to roll through was perfect. So
well, I felt my arm. When you grab my arm, my first thought is that's the arm that's been hurting. I'm like, that's the day.
Yeah. So I mean, like, this is textbook hip bump sweep. So when somebody's posturing out of your guard like that, this is what you do. Now, if you are wise to me doing this and you push me back to the ground right at this instant, I've got the overhook on your arm and I can go to the Kimura. right? See
Ooh.
how I'm already like, I'm setting it up for the Kimura. But I don't think anybody's ever done this to you before. So like, if I try to do this to you, if I try to do this to you tomorrow, you're just gonna like probably splat me. But because you weren't expecting it, and I've never tried to do this to you before, it worked. But yeah, you basically have to get your hips above their hips. The really good dude in my competition did this to me. This is how he swept me. But yeah, the roll through was awesome. Yeah. I was bummed about that one. I was like, oh man, I really wanted to get him. You can see Johnny in the background throwing balls against the wall. Like, yeah. All right, that was the end of the round. All right, and then going to the last one here. So now you're passing. Let's move back in the center. Oh, dude, so this was me secretly putting my feet behind your feet so I could do another.
I noticed it.
So not pictured, and we didn't get a video of it, was during our warm-up like kind of rounds, which like we were doing a little bit more than just warm-up. Like we were giving it a little bit of juice. I hit Jordan with like the perfect dummy sweep. So this is called the dummy sweep. And Jordan fell back on his ass and was like flailing, like you know, trying to catch himself.
I had the O face. I was
like, I wish we had that on video because it was my best moment of the entire day, and it was during warm-ups, and it was just like, oh, I shouldn't have shot that shot right now.
But from this camera angle, you would have totally got my face too. Been like, oh.
So I actually took I took the hooks back because I didn't want to be cheap about it. I was like, okay, if I get it later, I'll get it, but like I didn't want to like do it right off the start. So trying to keep good head position on you, I think that's really important. Went for a little arm drag there. Obviously didn't get it against the beast that is Jordan. Look at you. You landed like a freaking superhero, like landing. Watch. Yeah, wasn't close. Was not close. Now you get an underhook. I'm not sure I like that. I pommel and get my own underhook. Framing. This is not a good position for me. You're past my knee shield. What are you doing with my ankle there, Jordan? What are you pondering? What great mysteries of life are you thinking about when you grab my foot there?
Again, I'm just glad to be looking at them and I'm part of realizing that they're part of this equation. It's literally like that for me. I was like, okay, there's the ankle. I'm slowing this whole thing down in my mind to be able to look at it, see what his ankles are doing. Like that's kind of my thought process there.
All right, so I do a little shrimp here. See that, Jordan? Classic shrimp situation. So you're giving me a lot of pressure. Smash, smash, smash. I do a little bridge and a shrimp. Let's get a little space. And then from here, I have this zany idea in my head that I'm going to go for a choi bar, which means that I have to get my left leg all the way over your head and underneath your armpit. So here I start like thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I can do it. I can get, and it leads into a really tight, effective arm bar. I'm like inches away from being able to do it here, but like I just can't quite get through. Like I'm a little too far away from your far shoulder and your far arm, and then I just give up. I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna happen. I was pretty gassed at this point too. I'm not gonna lie. You could tell my COVID weakness.
To me, I'm just thinking, just slowing it down. I know it I'm working the whole time, but I'm trying to just slow my mind down to be able to see all the different moving parts and take stock of everything that's kind of going on.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun when you can, like, when you start doing that, and it really becomes so much more, like, it becomes so much more technical. It becomes more of a jigsaw puzzle. You're trying to figure out how the pieces can be realigned, to in your favor. So maybe not jigsaw puzzle, but some other type of, like, you're trying to stack the deck in your favor by your positioning, such that you can do the moves that like, you can only do moves from certain positions. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So you have to try to find your way to get to those positions without the other person knowing. So, like, I assume that you had no clue that I was working for a Choi bar the entire time, like, which is super cool. You should look it up online. Like, go YouTube it. CHOI space BAR, named after some, like, Korean dude named Choi, who popularized it maybe like 5 years ago. The last ADCC in 2022, like, Choi bars took over the, like, there were more, like, Choi bar submissions, or there were just a ton, like, way more than, like, anybody had seen in a while, and now everybody's doing it. It's very cool and hip. But okay, we made it through the rolls. We'll both be healthy next week. Jordan has taken me on as a strength and conditioning customer, so hopefully I'll be a little bit less namby-pamby in my rolls, have a little bit more strength. And I'm trying to bulk up to 180, so I'm trying to add 10 pounds. Hey, how did your cut go this summer? Down to 170 or whatever.
I'm at like 190. It's good, cruising weight,
Dude, I would love to
I
be
get all kinds
190. Oh man,
a couple good excuses.
I would
But
kill to be 190. All right, cool, man.
sweet.
Well, till
Good
next
job
time.
today.
Yeah, good work,
Hope you
dude.
feel better.
Yeah,
Yep,
you
good
too,
job.
man. Go to jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Just think
I
about
do. It's called Time with Bill.
it. Dude, if you think that you're gonna become good at jiu-jitsu just by working with me, I think you got problems.
Just teach me everything.
All right, see you later, man. Bye.
Later, guys.